My mother was a social worker who would leave her handprint in the wet cement of families that hadn't been able to settle, families that hadn't been able to set. My mother was a sheriff. She wore the long arm of the law on one sleeve and her heart on the other. I know when she first started, she believed every family could change. It's just, I haven't heard her say that in a really long time. My mother was a social worker who worked in social circles where round pegs were squeezed into square holes, where ticks were made on government forms, where children were seen as income and not assets by parents who were not guardians, parents who had decided their job descriptions were beneficiary recipients. My mother was a hero. With the guts to stare down any man in a dog fight, her qualifications being her pedigree, my mother was a villain. Her words powerful enough to separate Ranginui and Papatūānuku from their children. Understand, my mother was not evil. She was just misunderstood. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you've seen enough abuse, every parent looks like they've failed. My mother didn't give up on people, she just gave too much. My mother gave a damn. My mother was a dam. Arms crossed, standing downstream, collecting the tears of families, overcome with the overflow. Something had to give, something had to give. Trust had to give, hope had to give. My mother should be made into a stained glass window instead. My mother was made into a checkout operator, carrying her baggage home every night like groceries, unpacking her day at dinner time. Now I know why I annoyed her so much. When my mother was off saving the world, her sidekick got kicked to the side quick because my bad reports in sports teams don't mean jack when little Jack down the road is getting smacked by his dad. The toughness my mother learnt at work just didn't bode well for a son with scraped knees, a bruised ego, and sometimes a lonely heart. Sometimes I didn't want a social worker at home. Sometimes I just wanted my mum. My mother is still a social worker, 25 years later, having given the best of herself to the worst of some of ourselves. She's not the same person I once knew. Sometimes I'll see her hug my son, her grandson, and she'll hold on for a little bit longer, and I know she's trying to help everyone she couldn't, but she can't. You see, my mother was a social worker that once believed every family could change. It's just, I haven't heard her say that in a really long time. It's just, I know she'll never say that again.
Shot Zane.